Welcome back to Starcraft Trivia with NecrO. The category is Rivalries. Rivalries are super exciting in any scene, being that they create anticipation. Although it's not always the case, a lot of rivalries go back and forth in terms of who wins, and these first two knew how to push each other's buttons. They were both at the top of the foreign scene at the time, and their banter was amazing. The legendary Zerg vs Protoss rivalry, Idra vs Huck. Who had the winning record against each other? Was it A, Huck, or B, Idra? The answer is B, Idra. Idra was about 60-40 against Huck, so 6-4 in matches and 17-12 in map score. Although the rivalry was more Idra favored, they had this strange chemistry where their persona clashed in an awesome way. Idra's persona was hating everybody else's playstyle.
Nah, he's a piece of trash who wouldn't win any games if he didn't play Protoss.
And Huck's persona was being confident in his own, but in a humoristic and arrogant way.
I'm here with Crystal Loranger.
Loranger. Very good.
E.G. Huck.
Yep.
And you have 2 accounts in the top 5 Grandmaster now, right?
Yeah, we're 1 and 2, but yeah, okay. Top 5. I'll do a rematch any day, anytime, any amount of money. Well,
Any amount of money.
sure.
I don't know. They have a Broodor back in the lounge. You should play like
He's not
Sheth or
there.
something.
I see. Unlike Sheth, I'm still in this tournament, so I gotta kind of play this one.
This rivalry was bound to spark at one point or another, since they were both the top foreigners at the time whose personalities didn't revolve around being nice, polite, or humble.
So Huck can't win in a real game, huh?
Pretty much, you wouldn't win at all if you didn't play Protoss. He's actually kind of retarded.
Even though it was perceived that you were kind of saying mean things about him in interviews, etc., I never actually saw you say anything about him personally.
He's actually kind of retarded.
The hype around the rivalry, though, started to die when they joined the same team, which was Evil Geniuses, and it just wasn't really the same since then. These next 2 rivals came about through the sheer entertainment value of their games. Both had an incredibly refined macro style in this matchup. If 2018 and 2019 had an award for the most entertaining TVP rivalry, they would take it unanimously. The 2 German giants, Hero Marine versus Showtime. Who has the winning record against the other? Is it A, Hero Marine, or B, Showtime? The answer is B, Showtime, with about a 55% win rate against Hero Marine. The thing is, this is the all-time record. Hero Marine had a lot of catching up to do. Their first pro match was in 2012, where Hero Marine won, but then he lost the next 6 times in a row. Yikes. The reason why I give them the award for best TVP rivalry is because they were so evenly matched. If you just look at 11 of their most recent matches against each other, it goes Showtime, Hero Marine, Showtime, Hero Marine, Hero Marine, Hero Marine, Showtime, Showtime, Hero Marine, Showtime, Hero Marine. I mean, just like it's just so back and forth. A lot of the time in StarCraft, whoever is stronger is expressed quite rapidly in a game, and the clash of playstyle normally ends the game in a straightforward way. But not these two. Every single time they fought, almost every game ended up as a fantastic macro game, and whenever you thought PvT was boring, you quickly change your mind after watching any series that these two play against each other.
Didn't quite have personal cloaking yet, so a lot of these ghosts, they die in the process. One single Dark Templar going to town against this army. Here not quite scanning yet. He's paying attention to the top left-hand side fight here with a lot of his bio. He's gonna come in from multiple sides. I don't see any disruptor shots being used yet, and Heroine is just so good at dodging those anyway.
The rest of the army is actually not that impressive, but Showtime can still wipe in some units, and he does finally connect with one of those Purification Novas, and that is all he needed. GG. We're all tied up here between these two monsters from Germany. What a series so far, Johan.
And of course, how could I not mention the greatest rivalry in Starcraft history? The greatest because of what it represented. The newcomer that made God bleed and ascended to a god himself in the most entertaining matchup there was. This is Flash versus Jaedong. Who has the winning record against each other in Brood War? Was it A, Flash, or B, Jaedong? The answer is A, Flash, and by a thread. The Flash versus Jaedong rivalry is what Serral versus Maru could have been in 2018, but never was. They represented similar things. They were both the two untouchable players that were heads and shoulders above everyone else. But Flash versus Jaedong was different in terms of what made the rivalry so exciting in the first place. In the case of Maru versus Serral, the hype was that they shared simultaneous parallel journeys in becoming the two undisputed best players in the world in 2018, and to this day, they are still on that parallel phase, but they are not the undisputed best anymore. The story of Flash vs. Jaedong was quite different. Jaedong started out as the undisputed best. He revolutionized every Zerg matchup and set the meta by himself for all of them. Flash, on the other hand, was fairly new and was simply regarded as one of those aggressive Terrans with chases and timing pushes. But ever since their first real series against one another, Jaedong quickly realized that Flash was way different from everybody else and would only get harder from here. Even though people regarded Flash as simply an aggressive Terran, he proved everyone wrong by standing up to Jaedong in macro games, which nobody was able to do at the time. And he only kept getting better. Although the record was very much in Jaedong's favor early on, Flash caught up and started dominating more in the second half of their history, earning him the ever so slight advantage in their overall record against each other. Between 2007 and 2010, Jaedong had won 24 maps. Flash had won 25.
이재동 선수, 이영호 선수에게 17분 08초 만에 패배를 기록하게 되네요. 이렇게 되면은 상대적으로 이영호 선수가 물론 오래전 기록이라면 2점을 앞서기 시작하는 이재동을 상대로.
예, 그리고 카트리나에서 일반 노멀한 전략이 아니라 메카닉 전략을 활용을 해서 이재동을 잡았기 때문에 전체적으로 이영호 선수가 앞으로 사용할 만한 사용하기 위해서 준비해놓은 전략이 더 힘을 받을 수 있습니다. 그게 순수한 그냥 바이리 운영이라고 할지라도 힘을 받을